Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shade 45.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out your eyes.
Sway in the morning, Shade 45. Before we begin this interview, I have to speak a little bit about astrology.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, man.
I messed up.
I freestyle my intros, by the way.
You can't tell.
You can't tell? When I was a kid, I used to study astrology. And one of the phenomenons that really appealed to me was that of the Halley's Comet. Oh, astronomy. Excuse me.
I was going to let you run with
Thank you. Yeah, okay. When I was a kid, I used to study astronomy. And one of the things that fascinated me.
I think it's astrology.
Is it astrology?
I'm
I used to look up in the sky.
Okay.
It was
and by study, I mean I used to glance up into the sky.
And there was screw it. Justin Timberlake is here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Justin Timberlake is here, man.
I really want to know where you were going with that.
Well, you know,
just give me like the Reader's Digest version.
Okay. So I have this thing where I come up with just when people walk in a room, I don't think about it. I just think about in the moment. I try to stay in the moment.
Okay.
And what first thing that came to mind was what I witnessed at the MTV Video Awards, Video Music Awards, reminded me of. I'm not putting too much pressure on you. The time I watched Michael Jackson do the 25th.
Don't say another word.
Well, let me. I'm not. There's not quite that. Okay. But when he did,
let's not do that to me right
now.
No,
I'm not going to do that. You got a lot of time left. That would be unfair to you.
Thank you.
The 25th anniversary, Motown 25th anniversary, and when he separated from his brothers and he did that solo performance that just kind of set the tone for the rest of his solo career.
Right.
What you did, obviously, you've been in your solo career for over 10 years now, but I think it just it set the tone for what a lot of the onlookers, like Austin Mahone, One Direction, a lot of guys who probably grew up hearing about you, idolizing you, but I don't know if they ever had a chance to witness the full package all together, the way you worked.
Pause.
Exactly. Four different stages. You sang, you danced, you played. You know, you had fun, you cracked jokes, and it was nearly a perfect performance.
Well, that's very nice. Thank you. To even be mentioned in the shadow of the greatest of all time, it's like, it's an honor. It's like, it's something you never, you know. So when I was a kid, I used to run around the house singing Jackson 5 songs, as we all did. We all like, everybody had the jacket and the glove and the, you know. Yeah. You couldn't find them socks anywhere, but if you could,
you would wear them.
That's right.
What's your favorite Jackson 5 song? You gotta sing it, bro.
God, I would say, I guess, I'll say Shake Your Body.
Shake Your Body?
Yeah.
Shake Your Body down too?
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Man, Michael was just doing some riffs in that.
Yeah.
He was doing some crazy, like, so, I was gonna take my opportunity if you're gonna give me the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award, I'm gonna take, and always too, like, but I also grew up watching people like Paul McCartney, and what Michael did for performing in general. I think that's what you're talking about, is like stage performance on stage. Why we really fell in love with Michael was because he just, like, it wasn't even about captivating you. Like, he did something to your blood when he performed on stage. But there was always a thing about him on stage where you can't touch that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, that's what made it so grandiose. And then you mix that with people like Paul McCartney, who, have you seen him recently?
I saw him at
like 70.
Yeah, I saw him at the Grammys when they did that.
Okay, the guy's like 70, and he plays for like 3 hours, stadiums, and it's like you feel like you're in his living room, and the only pause between songs is like so he can put a different guitar on or get down on the piano, and he talks. He has people laughing in the crowd, and so when you think about those two sides of being on stage, that's what I grew up idolizing. So that's something that I've always wanted to incorporate. So when you go, when it's about, a song like Señorita, it's like I only want to play the end of the song because this is the song everybody can sing to each other. And you can feel like, it feels like a block party all of a sudden. And so those are always the two things that I was able to pick up on when I was younger. And like those are my favorite two. And they're both on the opposite ends of the spectrum when you really break it down like that. But those are my two favorite things to do at a show, is to make people go like, damn. Yeah. And then to make people go like, you know what? I'm having fun. Yeah. Like those two things.
And I think you definitely accomplished that. And, for me, it was great to see you because I haven't seen you live. I wasn't able to catch you and Jay-Z on tour because I was working.
I'm actually really disappointed.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in myself, but
that's the greatest show I've ever been a part of.
Why is that?
It's just a one-of-a-kind moment. Every show, it was a one-of-a-kind moment. And, he was nice enough to give me some artistic license to put the set list together. Wow. Obviously, I'd shoot it back at him, and he would come with ideas. But it's just a full-on collaboration. I mean, when you really break it down, we share a lot of the same producers. Tim and Pharrell, and so I sat down with his musical director, my musical director, and I said, okay, it's a block party. It's a private block party. Yeah. It's, the guy paying for this event says you can only play my songs, Jay's songs, Justin and Jay. That's all you can play. How do we do that? And so that's where that was the impetus for how we put the set list together. And then all the visuals came from that. And then it just became like a monster of a show.
Now, was there ever a moment where Jay and you, while you interacted, had different ideas? And you had to talk him through it, or you?
No, I mean, not really. I don't think so. I mean, it was pretty easy. Like, we get along really well. I mean, I think we kind of look at it the same way. And I think we're also both at a place in our careers where it's like, to do something like this is fresh for us. You would never put us on, it's a fresh idea. You wouldn't normally put us together on stage. But then when you hear Suit and Tie, and then funny enough, on the second half of the 2020 experience, he did another feature for me.
He's on the second part too. Okay.
Which, funny enough, was the first song we did together, because all these songs were recorded at the same time. So the one that's on the second half, funny enough, is the first one that I wanted him to do. And then Suit and Tie came out of that, and then Holy Grail and Heaven, and BBC, because Pharrell was around, and we all just like. So when collaborations happen that naturally, and then he came to me about the idea for the show, and I said, man, you really think we can do this? And then it was, we were just off and running. So
we're talking about the 2020 experience part 2. Now we found out Jay-Z is a feature on the album. What other features? Is there another rapper on the album that I should know about?
One more feature.
Can I guess it?
You sure?
Drake?
But
bam.
You had inside information.
You know what? I know Drake was a big fan of yours, and it was great seeing him perform. I wish, it was hard for people to perform after you. You said something when you received one of those awards. You personally went up there, hey man, give it up for Bruno Mars, give it up for Drake, give it up for
I love Kanye's performance too. Man. I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah. And well, that's interesting. Have you and Kanye talked since the release of Suit and Tie, and since that the comments you made on the late night show?
We actually spoke for like an hour at the awards.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Did that come up when he made the comment about suit and tie?
Immediately.
And how was it dealt with?
It wasn't like, but it's no, it's like
no big deal. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. What compelled you to respond and say, I'm making, what was the line? I'm making rappers.
Come on, man.
Go ahead, say that line. How'd it go?
I don't remember. What was I saying?
My shit is so sick. I'm making rappers.
Something about dramatic.
Dramatic. That's what it is.
And it was one of them things where I love it in a way, because it's at the end of the day, it's like it's just music.
Yeah.
Like I love the record. I love Suit and Tie. It reminds me of the music I grew up listening to. And so I don't know. I respect his opinion because I think he's a genius.
Yeah.
But I don't share that opinion. And I don't know that it's just not that big a deal.
No.
That's why and to do it at SNL too, it's like it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
But
it's good to know you got one.
I think I didn't know if he didn't like the song or if he didn't like the collaboration with me and Jay, because I was told a couple different things. But
so what
I like, and I told him, I was like, I fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like in a way that you probably don't even understand that I get what you do. And we've never worked together. So I don't know that he fully understands what it is that I can do. And that's fine. As a matter of fact, Jay said the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, so
Jay said,
but what I do agree with is I would have loved to have him a part of the process. How collaborations come up with me is there. I don't plan them out in a way. Like you mentioned the Drake thing, and Drake being so vocal about appreciating me as an artist, and I appreciate him as an artist. So when we met up in person, I said, man, we should do something at some point. It would be a travesty if we don't.
Yeah.
And I've said that to Kanye a million times. As a matter of fact, I said it again at the MTV. I hope something spawns out of that.
What did
because
he say? How did he respond? Did he say, let's do it?
He said the exact perfect thing, which was, well, the best way I know how to do that is just for us to sit down and just play music. And I said, exactly. Like you can't plan out, like you can't just like, hey, Ross, I need you. Like I picture a scenario like I'm in Miami. We go to Hit Factory. He's there. That's how the whole thing with Jay came up. It was just I was actually there writing for Beyonce.
Okay.
Tim was working on the Beyonce record, and he said, hey, are you in town? And I said, yeah. He goes, you want to come work with me on the Beyonce stuff? And so I was there working on that. And Jay came through. And then, we started doing a bunch of music.
You explain it kind of stunted on me. You just threw that I was writing for Beyonce in there.
A little bit.
Yeah, it kind of stunted on me.
Let me
right
pick
there.
that name
Okay,
up. Hold
okay, yeah, pick that up right there.
If you're gonna drop a name.
Yeah.
If you're gonna drop a name.
All right.
But like I said, like just to finish my thought, like I love Ye. So that's why I feel like I understand what he's doing. Like I love Yeezus. I love that album. And I feel like I understand what he's doing. I don't know that I think he's ahead of a lot, especially in his genre. He's ahead of a lot all the time. So you have to at least listen and give him the benefit of the doubt, because he's earned that, and I get it. I think people are going to appreciate it a lot more in the future.
Yeah, I can't wait till that collaboration happens.
It'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I remember when he came out with Stronger, and he was talking to me about Sexy Back.
Yeah.
And how that was an influence. I don't know if he would say that still, but that's the way I remember the conversation. is like I played Staples Center in LA and brought him out on stage and said, well, come perform the song in the middle of my show. You know, and we did Stronger together at Staples Center. So to me, it's like, I don't, look at me. You're not going to catch, I'm not like the guy who's going to have beef.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and if we do, that's fine. You know what I mean? But I have too much respect for him.
Yeah.
I have too much respect for him as an artist and what he does. So
plus, you never been no punk. Justin Timberlake
ain't no
is
bitch about my shit.
You know what I mean? The 2020 Experience Part 2 is out September 30th, correct?
Well done.
Thank you. And
as I look up into the sky.
Yes, man. That Halley's Comet is coming again on September 30th. All right. You did an interesting analogy backstage of what Part 2 is like.
Oh, yeah.
For us at MTV.
I've been using that all day, by the way.
That was a good. Oh, you used it again?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Because your reaction to it.
Yeah. No, that was a great story. You know, but you don't have to say it. You could paraphrase it this time.
Like the shorter version?
Yeah, the shorter version.
The first half.
Yeah.
That was released in March. That's the freshman love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you fall in love with the girl in your biology class, so you want to go over to her house and have dinner and impress her parents.
Yeah.
Right? And then when you get there, you realize she has an older sister. It's like a senior.
Mm-hmm.
Like dark hair, a tattoo, and she gives you that look like, I'll turn you out. That's the second half.
That's part 2 right there?
Yeah, that's part 2.
Okay, so it gets a little darker,
It's
a
just
little
dirtier.
darker.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not like on purpose. You know, it's just the sonically, like, that's what I mean, sonically. It just sounds darker and it's got like...
Is it sexier? And I mean, is it like a little more explicit, perhaps?
Yes.
A little more provocative?
Yeah, and sonically, there's hints to maybe Future Sex Love Sounds. For anybody that enjoyed that record, there's more. There's just it's got a little more urgency.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you listen to Suit and Tie, you listen to Take Back the Night. It's nostalgic.
Okay.
But there's a lot of the records on the second half have more urgency to them. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense. The Drake record, back to that. What was the record you guys did together?
It's called Cabaret.
Uh-huh. And what's Cabaret?
Mm-hmm.
So, and what's that about?
You know, he's got his chick.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever he's, you know, I don't get into the man's business.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's a strip anthem. It's a
a
strip
strip-
club
okay,
anthem.
okay.
That's a strip
That's pretty
club
much what it
anthem.
is. Okay.
That's a strip club anthem.
Now, how does your wife respond to those songs? Like, does she just give you creative freedom? She doesn't say, "Hey, man," you know. Does she ever interject on?
She's an actor.
Yeah.
She plays parts all the time. Like she gets it. She knows not like, you know.
Yeah. You can't. Yeah.
She plays characters for me, man.
Yeah. She plays characters for you?
Yeah.
Like, you mean on set?
It's none of your business,
That's
man.
none of my
It's none of your
business.
business.
On the bedroom set or the film? No, just. All right. So
no, she's the greatest of all time. She's just like, you know, we have a lot of fun together, and I think that's the most important part about. That's what we're discovering because we're newlyweds still. You know that's the most important part about being married is having fun together and being, you know, like you have to like the person, like loving and liking somebody.
It could be two different things.
Oh yeah.
And I commend you, man. You know, watching your life. You know, you are an artist, obviously, first and foremost, but you're a person. So I commend you on that. When you got married, it was like one of the legends. You know, retired New Jersey. You know, it was like, wow, he did that. But I can appreciate that. She wasn't at the awards.
She was backstage with me.
Okay.
She was like, no, it's a little too crazy out there. She just hung backstage with me. Her and Tim actually were in my
backstage.
Yeah.
Damn, Tim, you hit Tim? How you hit Tim? Was a big dude. How you hit him?
He wanted to stay backstage. He was like, I won't go out there. Too crazy.
That's a good Timberland impersonation, bro.
No, JT, I won't go out there. That's what he said to me.
That's what he said?
Mm-hmm. I said, hey, man, come hang out with me, bro. We had cookies in my room. It's fantastic.
But I want to ask you a question because I use you. I speak to a lot of. I go around and talk at community centers and stuff, and they always ask about the big stars, and then they always ask about the ones who get in trouble. When you look at people like Lindsay or Amanda, people who have started off as child stars, and they believe I don't want to go into any type of acting as a child or entertainment because they all end up bad. And I always use you as an example. Well, not necessarily. Look at Justin Timberlake, someone who started off as a child star, and you pretty much managed to avoid all the tabloid, being front page news. What is it? How can you explain what a child star goes through where some of the people end up melting down?
Listen, I think it's a culmination of things.
Yeah.
First of all, if you start working in the entertainment industry at 10 years old, that is not normal.
Yeah.
Period. We can all agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
But also too, it's a false type of, it's like a false idolhood that gets put on to, that gets put onto a young person where if you really break it down, having access to things when you're young is about how much trouble you get into when you're young is about how much access you have to things, I think, too. So you're young, you have all this money, you have all these people who are around who can make things happen for you. You're that much closer to, Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like, who hasn't gotten drunk and stumbled out of a club and maybe thrown up in the street or, Yeah. But the difference is the way we look at certain people, especially younger stars, is everything that's sold to you about Hannah Montana is relatability. So it goes into that whole thing. But like, how old is Miley?
20.
She's doing what 20-year-old girls do. The difference is, she's got a microphone. She's on stage at the VMAs. So I'm trying to start like T-shirts with like Free Miley already. Like, well, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's not that deep, but like, take it easy on her. She's declaring, she's making a proclamation. She's 20 years old. She's a young adult now, and she can do that.
Yeah.
I did like the Bears.
You like the Bears?
At the beginning, I thought the Bears were kind of.
Yeah.
I was like, I get the reference.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like, is it really that shocking that somebody would do that at the VMAs? Madonna put a wedding dress on and humped the stage at the VMAs. Like Britney did the striptease at the VMAs. Like, let her do her thing, man.
Britney did do a striptease at the VMAs,
yeah,
right?
Man, it's not.
And they did the kiss thing too.
They did the kiss thing at the VMAs.
I thought that was sexy.
All three of them.
Yeah, that was a threesome.
Yeah.
Right in front
This
of
is
our
the
birds.
VMA. It's not like she did it at the Grammys.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, I don't know. I've heard people, I've never seen her record a song, or I haven't worked with her, but I've heard people talk about how talented she is.
She has a voice.
Pharrell played me records. I was like, man, these are really good.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think she's without talent. Obviously, I think she's like really, really talented. So I say,
let her live.
Let her live.
Let her live. You heard it from Justin Timberlake. This is it. This is it. This is it. All right, man. Hey, listen.
That's how we're ending this? No.
No. That's not how we're ending. When I was a kid.
And I looked up into the sky.
But listen.
Astrology.
Take Back the Night is the current single right now. I told you when I saw you at the VMAs that it was a we were playing it and it was like, yo, this feels good. Like the guys who were working on the carpet, like building the stage, was like, yo, I like it, man. It's a feel good record.
Right.
And that's what we kept playing.
It sneaks up on you.
It sneaks up on you.
It sneaks up on you. It's kind of like Suit and Tie in that way,
Yeah.
where you listen to it the first time, you're like, I think with Suit and Tie too, it was like false expectation.
Yeah.
You know, it was actual expectation on what you thought the record would sound like, but the more you listen to it, the more you were like, you know what? This feels good.
It feels good.
Right? And I don't know, Take Back the Night is maybe a little bit of the same.
Mm-hmm. It's a good start. And I want to say to you, I was concerned about your knees.
My knees?
At the VMA performance.
Uh-huh.
Because you danced as well, if not better, than you danced 10 years ago. And I said, this dude,
I don't know, man,
is as sharp as he ever. Now, I remember when Chris Brown performed at the VMAs. Remember this? And he did the whole Michael Jackson thing in Vegas.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that?
Yeah. He was kind of like a circus. He
Yeah.
did like a circus thing, but he did like, yeah.
And you made a comment jokingly that you were never going to dance again. That's it.
Oh, right.
But I commend you, man. I give you, man, you're putting in work, and I think a lot of younger artists, because you're still a young man, but a lot of younger artists could learn a lot from that performance you gave them, man.
Well, thanks, man.
And I want to tell you, I, for one, as a music lover, appreciate it. I'm looking forward to what else is coming forth for part 2. And we got to do this another time, all right?
As you let me know.
How was that ending?
Here.
Was the ending okay?
I think it was pretty good.
It's okay? Are you happy with that?
I think so. That's better than where we left it before.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't want the astronomy thing? No.
All right. Let Miley live. Okay, we're done here. I'm not trying to end like that.
Not like that?
Yeah.
Okay. The Charlie Wilson tribute.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the Gap Band was one of my favorite bands of all time, man.
Get out of here.
Come on, man. Got to get outstanding. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna ruin it right there. That was amazing.
Sway,
yeah, nah, no. Justin, come on, man. I always wanted to do a duet.
again.
Man, go ahead, beatbox. I got it.
No, you
ain't
good.
gonna do it?
The moment's gone.
Okay, great. All right.
As I look up into the stars. There you go.
There it is. There it is. Yo, y'all shut down the BET Awards. It ain't
Let that ride.
Let that ride.
You're right. We did.
Yeah.
No, no. It's like I got a phone call from Charlie and his people, and I was like, absolutely, I'm there, no question.
Yeah.
And then I called Pharrell, or I ran into Pharrell because he was doing the BBC record, and I was like, "Are you doing the Charlie tribute? You have to do. You literally single-handedly, brought him back to another generation of
Wait, hold on. Close that
people.
Door, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
Literally brought him back to a whole generation of music listeners, young music listeners.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Nah, man, I think I gotta be in Italy for some fashion." I was like, "No, man, you have to be there."
Yeah.
And it worked out. And then obviously Snoop, who just can show up and make people happy.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Man, that was an incredible show, man. You're giving us a lot of great memories. I'm glad you're back. You stayed away for a long time, and now you hit the ground running. You're embracing it. It's a good time for you in your life.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm having fun being me right now, for sure.
Yeah. I will have
It's
fun.
It's nice to be able to enjoy the moment based and take those. We talk. A lot of this conversation is about things that people don't know versus having the experience and going back to it. So it's nice to enjoy all of this and know what it is. I mean, it means a totally different thing to me at this point in my career. So
Justin Timberlake.
that is how we should end this.
There it is.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shea 45.